This video is brought to you by Wartorrn, the single-player squad-based roguelite with deep replayability. Wartorrn features a dynamic combat system where you harness elemental forces to your advantage, ignite tar to engulf enemies, amplify electric shocks with water, or douse flames to shift the tide of battle. It's like Captain Planet, but with significantly more goblin murder. A unique roguelite progression system and physics-driven destruction adds layer of depth and unpredictability to every skirmish. Between battles, build out your caravan with squads of various fantasy creatures and check in on them through your overworld map or cozy villa hub that's big enough for earth, fire, wind, water, and even heart. Yeah, I guess. And all this is wrapped in a painterly aesthetic that is pretty enough for Gaia herself. Played by Whoopi Goldberg. That's true. So what are you waiting for? Wartorrn is out now in early access on PC via Steam and the Epic Game Store. The power is yours! To check out the link in the description to learn more. This video is brought to you by Wartorrn.
Dokapon.
We played Dokapon last night.
Dokapon. I'm thinking of the fabled Doka V.
Maybe he's dreaming about Doka V. Could happen to all of us. Happens to the best of us. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Firelink. We have a great show for you today. We're going to be chatting about all sorts of fun stuff, including The Altars, which is just a humdinger of a game that Nick and I want to sing the praises of. We'll also be chatting about a couple news stories that broke, including Warner Brothers Games reorganizing their structure around 4 distinct pillars. The Gex Trilogy. Listen, I got some stories about Gex. I don't know if I've complained to you about Gex, Nick, but you're going to have to hear it because I've got some Gex complaints. Also, we got some great questions from folks at our $5 tier on Patreon. And then, of course, we just been playing other stuff. So everything's great. How are you doing, Nick? You got stung by a bee.
I did. I got stung by a bee in the throat.
In the throat, which is that's a real humbling moment, I think, in life.
It wasn't a very humble bee, though.
It was not a humble bee. I feel like getting stung in the throat is like pretty hardcore. Like I feel like it could have been a lot worse. So I'm glad it wasn't.
I didn't even know I was stung until I got home. Like I think it was so hot out, I just wasn't really there.
Sure.
And then the heat was already hurting me, and then the bee just stung me. But then I got home, like my whole throat was red. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's a little stinger in there. I was like, ow.
Listen, I told you this should be turtleneck summer. This is your cue. Start wearing turtlenecks all summer. You can get a brand new lifestyle, or start wearing scarves. You can become a big scarf guy. I think that'd be huge.
Listen, with how hot it's this week, if I wore a turtleneck or a scarf right now in the summer, that would be Nick's last summer.
Listen, we could all drop a couple LBs, get that sweat out, get that summer beach bod. You know who else is dropping a couple Bs? Warner Brothers Games.
No.
Does that work? They're dropping pounds. They're dropping pounds. They're slimming down. They're becoming svelter by getting rid of studios, acclaimed studios like Monolith. But yeah, we've been covering Warner Brothers Games, the ongoing troubles for quite a while now. Nick, you've definitely dug into them for various episodes of Unpacked and whatnot. And the latest news to come out is that WB Games is formally restructuring, centered around 4 core franchises. So there's almost going to be like 4 arms of this beast. And unsurprisingly, those arms are going to be Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, DC Comics, DC Superheroes, and Mortal Kombat. As someone who's been covering this news for quite a while, Nick, like, what do you make of this? Does this seem like, yeah, this is kind of what we expected? Anything about this surprise you?
No, I did that Unpacked video, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, about how all these mega corporations just keep milking the same brands over and over again. They're not building up any new franchises under it. So I guess like what we're gonna rewatch all the Harry Potter again with the new series coming. That's just redoing it all the books again. For what purpose? We're going back. Like I love Lord of the Rings, but we're going back and doing the hunt for Golem. Who the fuck cares? Like, why are they so focused on Golem? There was a game about Golem, for God's sake, and
You
nobody
gotta call him
gave a shit. It
Gollum.
was
You
terrible.
can't keep calling him Golem. You gotta call him Gollum.
Golem.
But yeah, it is.
Like, what's the point of focusing on that again? Like, it's a story we know.
Yeah, and it's I think it's telling that you mentioned the Harry Potter HBO series that's in the works, because it does feel like these are sort of synergy moves with their media side. You know, they're focusing hardcore on DC properties. Superman's about to launch in a couple weeks. We have House of the Dragon currently running, and Night of the Seven Kingdoms is coming out. Dunk and Egg, like all sorts of Game of Thrones spinoffs and whatnot. Then obviously the Harry Potter series, and Mortal Kombat, it just seems like it is generally always kind of well received. There's a new movie coming out. There's the games I think sell well. I don't know. They seem like games that are very popular, but we just don't talk about outside of the bubble of their launch, which is fine.
But like, how much? Like, what are they gonna do long term with Mortal Kombat? Are we gonna get TV series about character backstories like we're doing with Peacemaker and stuff? Maybe that can work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just bothers me. Like, you have these powerhouse companies that could invest in new franchises and new IPs, and we're just not, and they never do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Dune was exciting for a little bit, right? The movies are really good, but the TV show didn't really do anything.
I literally forgot it existed. I did not watch the TV show at all.
The only reason I remembered it was because somebody was just tweeting about it, and they're like, they made it through 3 episodes. They're like, I can't do it. It's just bad. It's just not good.
It's great. I literally, there's like 10 hours of Dune out there that I just haven't watched and really don't have a desire to watch, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, and I in chat says because people do not really buy new franchises. People don't know what they want. They're just not making new franchises anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing, is people don't buy, if it's a chicken and the egg situation. You can't buy the new franchise if there's not a new franchise to buy. So but my question, because there's not too much else to talk about this, but what of the 4 of them, what would you say has sort of the highest potential, highest ceiling / most likely to succeed? And then what has the lowest? Like for you, rank the 4 of them?
Harry Potter at the top.
Yeah, I guess we saw Hogwarts Legacy, obviously a massive hit. There was that report of them doing kind of like a director's cut-ish thing of the game that seemed to get scrapped, which is probably good that they just focus on a big sequel. So yeah, I would agree with that.
And then DC, I mean, I think it's fairly obvious. DC, Mortal Kombat, Game of Thrones. I think, like, Game of Thrones is like, I love Game of Thrones, but I also like, it's outside of the TV shows. It's pretty generic. Like, it was interesting for when it came out because it did things with characters. It wasn't afraid to kill off its characters like so many shows were when it started. But now that's kind of been normalized across TV series. Like, TV series are more risky with their characters. But outside of that, it's just fantasy politics, and now we have infinite number of shows that do that kind of thing.
I think the problem, I think a rad AAA Game of Thrones game could work, but they have never done it. Everything they've done the Telltale thing that kind of tied into the series. They've done free-to-play, mobile-y stuff, RTS-y kind of stuff. There's this footage that we saw of, this was the trailer that showed during Summer Game Fest, and this is an RTS, right? So it's one of those things, like, I have to imagine, like, yes, like, Game of Thrones stock has fallen, but like, it was not that long ago to where it was literally the biggest thing in pop culture. And so the fact that they were never able to capitalize on that in just a big open world action RPG, like, something along the lines, not a something Soulsy, something, Kingdom Come Deliverance, like anything Witcher. Yeah, just like these things are popular. Like, it just doesn't. It's almost the same thing where it always amazes me that there was never a massive popular tie-in to the MCU. in terms of games. Like we had a couple adaptations of like the Phase 1 movies that were kind of forgettable, and then kind of nothing, and then Marvel's Avengers, which wasn't a tie-in but was obviously a mess. So
actually going back to our rating for a second, I'm actually going to flip it to DC over Harry Potter, just because it seems like with a lot of Warner Bros. Franchises, they try to spin them off in other ways, and it doesn't work, because they tried that with Fantastic Beasts, and they didn't even get to finish it. So, like, DC has so much potential because there's so many existing stories and fan bases. Harry Potter has, I think, a very focused fan base on Harry Potter itself. I don't know how much of a fan base is like the whole wizarding world, how much is out there. Mostly because
Harry Potter wasn't in. I didn't play the game, but he wasn't in that. It was set in like the 1800s.
No, but it was also Hogwarts Legacy. But I think that was like a game people had been waiting for forever.
Oh, because it was like the setting of the movies, and
right.
Stuff,
yeah. And for me, like, it was a pretty generic game. Like, I wanted, if they're gonna redo it or I know they're doing a sequel, like, spend more time in the school, do interesting things that way if you're gonna continue with it. But yeah, like Mortal Kombat, can you do anything in the game space outside of fighting games? Like, how many? Like, are we gonna get to Mortal Kombat 20 someday?
I mean, yeah, they've like tried to do the like mythologies and stuff, like the more action games. But yeah, I guess my thing with DC too is it feels like that should be a home run, but outside of Injustice and the Arkham games, as like what's a good DC thing, right? Like Suicide Squad was a flop. Gotham Knights landed with a thud. Wonder Woman got canceled. Like, I imagine a Flash thing was announced or was in development somewhere at some point. Same like a Lanterns thing was probably in development at some point. But I guess a lot of that might tie into if James Gunn's DCEU is popular.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, tying into this news of like possibly the rumor of Sony looking at their IP, I hope it's a thing kind of like Marvel's done, where they start licensing out IPs to people with more creative ideas outside of Warner Bros. Execs.
Sure. Instead of someone buying it, letting it be like, oh, maybe a Sony studio gets to make a Thrones game, or an Xbox studio gets to make a Superman game or something, or something along those lines. That'd be cool.
Because like old Warner Bros. Used to release interesting things like EA had the Lord of the Rings license. My mistake, because that's when we got War in the North, and we got Lord of the Rings Conquest and Battle for Middle Earth. That's weird how we've come full circle on, like, EA used to do okay things with licensed IPs and then completely dropped the ball on Marvel.
Yeah,
and
it all changes.
Fuck.
Yeah, weird time to be alive.
Nothing makes sense.
Nope, weird time to be alive. Excellent. Before we move on to the next topic, which is just a mini rant from me, Fungus Finder, thank you so much for the $2 dono over on YouTube. Glad I started from the beginning of this stream, lol. Listen, sometimes you got to rewind before you can fast forward. So think about that, Fungus Finder. The next story is this is a small thing, but it's something that's grinding my gears personally. Is the Gex Trilogy released a few days ago? Released on all consoles, including Switch and Switch 2. I have a fondness for Gex 2 and 3, so I purchased these games on Switch 2 because I was like, these were fun 3D platformers, and I'm very curious how the humor has aged, because I do not think it has aged well. However, I do not know how any of that worked, because I purchased it for $30 on Switch 2, and when I went to load it, there is a seizure-inducing blur of the screen, and the game is literally unplayable. Like literally, I captured a little bit of footage of it for a video, and in the note for the script, I'm like, warning, this is seizure inducing. When we show this, if we show this in the video, we need to find a way to do it without doing that. Maybe we show it with stills and everything. So the game, as of right now, is currently literally unplayable on Switch 2, despite the fact that you can buy it on the Switch 2 store. Limited
run.
Run
saw that they requested to take it down.
So limited run acknowledged that. They they released a patch that is now live for a bunch of their back catalog that now works on Switch 2. And they said that the patch is in Nintendo's hands, but because of today is a holiday, that it might not be ready until next week. And so they are requesting Nintendo remove the game from the eShop from the Switch 2 eShop until it is ready. So the game is, I could, if I wanted to just pick up my OLED, my old Switch, I could virtual game card it in there and play it there. But it's kind of a matter of principle for me at this point of like, why would you let me buy a thing if it like literally doesn't work? And so this is less like it's Gex, so it's kind of a fucking goof game. Who cares? This is something that I'm kind of worried about going forward. Like with smaller games, with third-party games, like are things going to release for Switch 1 and then have kind of be broken for Switch 2 at the time? It doesn't seem like their cross-gen is not nearly as not nearly as solid or fluid as some that came beforehand, as like a game that was like, oh, Xbox One or Series X or whatever. The backwards compatibility there. And it's not like the Switch 2 can't even just acknowledge it and be like, well, I'll just run it as a Switch 1 game and everything will be fine. So I don't know. Do you think that's something that people should be keeping an eye on for Nintendo, or do you think this is more of like a one-off weird thing?
Yeah, I think I would think it's a more one-off weird thing, and just getting the console out there and not knowing how everything is going to operate on it.
Sure. It is weird though, because this literally, I bought hundreds upon hundreds of games for the original Switch. But for all consoles, this is the first time I've ever bought a game where it literally did not work. And it's not like a PC thing where, oh, well, your graphics card or your what's it or who's it's like everyone has the same Switch too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they just had to release refunds for Mind's Eye on PlayStation 2 because it was performed so badly. So it seems like
I didn't like that.
What?
I didn't like the Mind's Eye thing.
What?
It's not because it performed badly. The game is bad. You should know that going in.
Yeah.
I think some part of this has to be. This is my weird stance. Is I think refunds are kind of a bad thing. I think a refund if something doesn't work is perfectly fine.
Well, that's what I was saying. Apparently on the PlayStation 5 Pro, the performance was so bad that
I don't have
people were getting refunds. Yeah,
I don't have a Pro. I think
I
don't. A little bit of due diligence before you buy anything.
Yeah, refunding a game that you don't like after you played it. Yeah, I think maybe I agree with that. But a game that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or work as intended.
R.I.P. Gex. We love you, Gex. I don't actually know if I love you, Gex. I don't know because I want to know if I still love you. Before I move on, Wheezy Jogger. I almost said Wheezy Yager, which is weird. Like I almost soft jade their name. But thank you so much, Wheezy Jogger, with a £2 dono. Appreciate you. We got a couple. We got a bunch of great Patreon questions from our $5 tier and above related to a couple other topics. But let's jump into the altars quick. Because that was a big topic. I was telling people they shouldn't be watching this. Like, first off, why are you guys watching this? Why are you listening to this? Why are you not playing the altars? Like, I asked one thing of you. I don't ask much of you guys. I asked one thing, and it was play the altars, and you didn't do it. So shame on you all. But no, the altars is here. Yahtzee, that was Yahtzee's Fully Ramblemanic for the week. Clearly, if you watch that, he was about as positive about it as Yahtzee can be for a video game. But Nick and I have both played quite a bit. Have you finished yet?
No, I'm at Act 3 now.
Okay, I think I'm right before Act 3. In fact, I'll probably get to Act 3 tonight. We want to talk about a little bit in a non-spoiler way because a lot of this game's excitement is experiencing things on your own, like finding yourselves in situations with very hard questions and very hard decisions and a lot of sort of forks in the road with no right answer, which I really love. And I know, Nick, when you went to Poland a month or two ago to preview this game, you messaged me being like, I think you're going to like this game because, there's some base building kind of resource management stuff that usually isn't my speed, but you were like, that kind of takes a backseat to the story and the characters, which are first and foremost at the head of the game. And I completely agree with that. I am not a resource management kind of person. I am not a base building kind of person, but in this game, it is, stuff is doled out to you slow enough, and it's sort of comprehensive enough and or comprehensible enough. It's not tedious, no, and a lot of it can be done no matter where you are. You can open up your menu and do a lot of the things.
Yeah.
But it is the story and these characters that I keep coming back for. And the fact that 90% of the character in this game is versions of Jan, the same performance, is pretty phenomenal. How different each performance is of all the different sort of alters, which are forks in the road of this main character that he kind of cloned himself from various points of his life. I'm fucking smitten with this game. I think this game is excellent, and I would recommend it to anyone, even if, like me, you were kind of put off by the idea of base building or management and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's like, I think people that get turned off by it is like, no, it's really a small part of the game. I think like one of the, like, there's a lot of nice quality of life things in it that make it not annoying to do that stuff. So first off, like when you move from one area to the next, if you have the storage space, if you manage your storage space correctly, then you get all your stuff back that you already built. So you don't have to go and do it all again. You just gotta get to the areas, which is kind of a navigational puzzle, and then set it up and just keep going, right? And then like your altars each all have specialties and jobs, and so you set the altars to go handle those things for you while you go complete other tasks. So like the real stress of the game, and I'm writing a video essay about it, is like the time management part of the game, where Persona, you were talking to me about Persona and how it's kind of similar. It's like Persona, you do something and it moves time forward. Like you're not watching a counter go down the entire day.
Sure, yeah. This is time is actually moving. This is
time is actually moving.
Do a morning action, an afternoon action, and a night action. Yeah, it's the clock is always ticking.
Yeah, so the management part of the game really becomes managing the choices that you make, and that's what I really love about it. Is like, do I need to focus on completing this thing that an altar asked me to do that will make them happy, or do I need to focus on getting the resources I need to complete an objective because the sun is going to rise soon, or do I need to stop these altars from fighting each other and take care of this? Like that's the real loop of the game, is choice making at all times. And that's what I really love about it. So like there's no, as I've continued playing it, like I never feel tedium where I do in like chopping down trees and like V-risers and like that, because I need trees for my smelter or whatever,
Yeah,
there's
no, absolutely. Yeah, and the fact that it's it is created around the idea of days. Again, like a Persona game where you wake up in the morning and you usually wake up 7 a.m. and you are free to do stuff until what is it, about 8 p.m. or whatever. Then you should probably, like, the fucking radiation is coming, so you should probably get back into the ship by then. But it's great because it's like, well, every day you're like, okay, what am I going to do? So I start off in the morning and I assign my various altars. I'm like, okay, you're going to be researching things all day. You're going to be growing plants and then cooking food in the kitchen. And then I'm sending you out on a mission to mine for minerals, and you out on a mission to mine for organics. And then you're like, okay, in my mind, and then I'll go explore. And then undoubtedly a wrench gets thrown in your plans, and you'll be like, oh, something's fucked up at the ship, or oh my god, this guy's extremely depressed and I think this guy might kill himself. What do I do? And so yeah, it's really amazing. And the character moments are really great because every character moment is between two characters who are on some level the same person, but on another level extremely different, because at some point in their life they diverged, and they might have a completely different accent or completely different facial hair or completely different sexual preference or these kind of things, but they still have these totems in their life that they can rally around. It could be something as small as like your mom's home cooking and like reminiscing about your mom's pierogies and bigos and everything, or it can be something as intimate as things with your ex-wife. And I think it's just it's really smart, really well written. I'm like so eager to see where the story goes in the final act, because I think it is a 3-act game without spoiling anything. I think Yahtzee said it was about 20 hours or so. But yeah, I'm really loving it.
It's funny, like so many games like have choice driven moments between characters, and a lot of it ends up being A or B, and C or D is going to happen.
Mhm.
But in this, like, you get A or B, and you have no idea what C or D are really going to end up being. Like,
Oh, sure, yeah.
The response to when you have a conversation with the alters, you may give them the response that makes the most sense to you, and it may not make sense to them at all, or they're not
Yeah,
happy
because they
with
have a
it.
very different life experience.
I love that
Yeah.
because, like, interacting with people is not predictable a lot, and
Yeah.
like, as part of my essay I'm working, I was like, as somebody in management, and having to be burdened with all the decisions you have to make and the outcome of how people feel about those decisions, that you may not know how they're going to react to it at that moment until later when something else happens. And like, this game really gets that. Like, this game is really a management simulator, I think, more than anything else. And it really nails that experience of just constantly having to fight with, did I make the right choice? And
I think there is no right choice too, which is great. There's no, it's not like you don't have devil horns or a halo on your head like in Fable. Like, every choice is kind of like, I don't think I've hit a single choice that's been clear cut for me. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to do this one, even though I kind of see where this one is coming from. So, yeah, really great, and it feels like a huge step up in my opinion for 11. I played This War Is Mine, the original This War Is Mine, but I did not play Frostpunk. Is that the name of their
yes.
previous game? Yeah. And so, but this feels like sometimes when we talk about studios, we talk about like a leveling up, and this kind of feels like a leveling up. And also some of our, some of the folks in the Patreon have also been playing it. David Cook, it's $5 tier and above, said Game Pass subscribers beaten good this year. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
This is just another game where it's
pretty much every game that's going to be up for Game of the Year besides Kingdom Come 2 has been on Game Pass.
God, that's crazy. Yeah, Blueprints, Clair Obscure.
Expedition,
Yeah. That's wild. And then Insomnia Inc., thank you so much, said, The Alters has taken over my life. 2 failed runs, and yet here I am plotting out my third, trying a different set of alters. I have pages of notes. This is the most engrossing and infuriating game I've ever played, and yet I can't escape. Please help. I haven't.
It is a game they want you to play more than once.
Oh, sure. There's no. Yeah, ultimatly, you cannot recruit all the members of your team, so you cannot get all the stories in a single run. I haven't. I'm just playing on whatever the normals are, and I haven't. I had some moments where I was like, "Ooh, I am running low on stuff, and a storm is coming," and that was like a kind of rough seas to have to get through. But by and large, I think I've like mentally got a good handle on like, okay, like juggling several balls at once of, my thing should be exploring, because exploring is a thing that only I can do. No other alter can explore the map and find new things like I can. So leave all the other work to them, and but make sure I'm also overseeing it and kind of being like, okay, I'm putting you here, you here. Oh, you're getting radiation poisoning, so you're going in the sick bay for a little bit. I'm trying to keep them happy. Also, I'm making feasts. Have you unlocked feasts?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, everyone's eating good. Everyone's literally eating good on my ship, because I'm like, this is going to be the way that if anyone gets mad, I'm like, counterpoint, everyone's eating a lot. Also, we can go play beer pong in the basement if you want. Which King Dead with the $2 donut said, Nick, how much time are you playing beer pong?
It's a fun little mini game. But see, I'm not the only one that goes and plays it.
I thought there was gonna be like 100 different mini games. I'm like, no, I like it. It's just beer pong and watch movies. Like, that's beautiful. Yeah. The big two.
That's my life too. I am Jan.
That's my life. Steady Goblinwood also left a nice anecdote. I'm not going to read it just because there was some kind of spoilers in it, but then asked, do you have a favorite alter? Like, is there a favorite one of them that you have that you've met so far?
I don't want to say, because I think it would be a spoiler to their personalities.
Yeah, I have, without spoiling it too much, the 6th one I unlocked, so I think this is my last altar, was the miner. The miner as in going down into the mines, not in an underager. And I've had to deal with some drama with this fella, let me say, but I feel like I'm digging in and I'm like finding where the hurt is. I'm like really finding where the hurt is in a couple of these characters, and I'm like really trying to empathize with them. So I feel like things are gonna go well, and then things didn't go well. But I think things are gonna go well. I think we're gonna be fine.
One I like the one that keeps trying to talk to your ex-wife,
the botanist. Yeah,
because I'm like, What? How do I do this? Like
Mhm.
he's me, but he's not me, but he's also me. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's the game's like really funny too. There's just a lot of like funny snark and everything. It's really good. Just go play it. It's so fucking good. Like even if you
yeah,
don't like
it's really good.
management sims, go play it.
Yeah, and you'll quickly get into. It reminds me. You know what? The this is weird. The other game that is sort of a RTS management game thing that I like that this reminds me of is Pikmin. This feels like Pikmin. I think this is Pikmin. I think all my yawns are just different colored Pikmin. I just get a new Pikmin, and I'm just running around the world. My little Captain Olimar, tossing these fools at magnetic storms and at fucking
Yeah,
existential
you go
crises.
outside in the radiation. I don't want to go out there.
Oh, I go out there all the time. I put myself out there because I'm like, I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be mining like hell. But then also I'm going to come in and I'm going to need to be in a sick bay for a while because that did not go well. Jesus. You getting robbed? Just like Yahtzee during Windbreakers. We thought he was getting robbed. And then Nidoram, thank you so much for the $5 dono, Nidoram. After thoroughly enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and being drawn into the buddy dynamic between Henry and Capone, I would love to see a Game of Thrones game in similar style. Is there a character named Capone in...
Capon.
Oh, Capon. Okay, sorry. I was just like reading it like Al Capone. See, that's what I think a Game of Thrones game could work like that, right?
I think a Game of like 11-bit should make a Game of Thrones game with all the choices you have to make in this. They
I mean, yeah, I am wondering if, yeah,
like ruling the throne, 11-bit style.
Yeah, this feels like a mix of like this is like quote unquote choices matter in a way that feels more so than something because it's not only your choices and dialogue trees, but it's your choices and actions that matter. You know, more so than like a Telltale game. This almost feels like Reigns or like an 80 Days Inkle game, but obviously in full 3D. Like this game often looks AAA-ish, even though it is not AAA.
Telltale and Supermassive games should take notes from 11-bit on how to make engaging, choice-driven games.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay in this isn't complex. It's a very like mechanically, it's very simple.
Yeah. When you're exploring, there's only a handful of things,
yeah.
and you can raise the stakes on them, and you can have you have a shorter day, or these anomalies are here. But yeah, it's good stuff. Laboratory Maniac with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Says Marty, have you opened your Final Fantasy cards yet? Any hints? I've opened 5 of the apparently 30 packs. I opened them on my personal stream a few days ago, and I was very excited. I got I don't know what's good or not, so I just get excited when I see things I know. I didn't get a Fat Chocobo yet, which I'm hoping to get a Fat Chocobo at some point. But I got Rabanastre, the city from Final Fantasy 12, which I'm very excited about.
Did you get the Bustin' Sword?
I did not get I didn't get the Bustin' Sword, but I got Barret and Aerith. I also got the moment Sephiroth is killing Aerith, which was exciting. And I also got, I think probably the thing I'm most excited about is I got the staircase from the Shinra building, which there is a famous moment in Final Fantasy VII where you need to infiltrate a building and you can choose to either take the elevator or climb up 55 flights of stairs, and you have to literally climb up 55 flights of stairs. It's very funny because the characters get very tired. And I got that as a card, so I was very excited.
What's like the card power for killing Aerith?
Oh, I don't actually know. My thing is I have no desire to learn how to play Magic or ever do it. I just like looking at them and being like, well, this is neat. This is a nice little piece of art. And I organize them now from all the games. Final Fantasy 1 through 15. Or 16. I do think there's too many Final Fantasy 14s. As someone who's not crazy about Final Fantasy 14, I think there's too many Final Fantasy 14s in here. However, I'm tickled pink. I got the instant ramen. I got copies of the instant ramen from Final Fantasy 15, which was wonderful. Hell yeah. And then S6 with $10 Thank you so much, S6. Hi, Marty. I'm using your study as the inspiration for my Backrooms game. Green walls, omnibus panel doors included. Do you see yourself as more of an eldritch horror or demonic presence in this space? That's a great way to put it. I kind of feel like I died a while ago, and that like my spirit or something is tethered here.
It's tethered to all your useless objects.
It's tethered
that
to
you
my
buy.
tchotchkes. It's tethered to my amiibo. I'm going to be buried in these fucking things. It's tethered in my cards. It's tethered in these goddamn used games. I got Silent Hill Downpour. I got Mind Jack. I don't even know why I got Mind Jack, but it's here just in case.
I think your spirit is stuck in that Duck Dynasty game.
I got that right here too. I got Duck Dynasty right here. We don't plan this beforehand. I got props. Yeah, I feel like we need an exorcism so we can cleanse this space. We'll make that a super chat call.
Or you just need an
I don't know
intervention.
or an intervention. One of the one or the other. Yeah, but I guess just in conclusion, both of us highly recommend the
I think our whole
altars.
team, everybody on our team that has played is recommending.
Yeah, no, Javid started it. Is really liking it. Yeah, Yahtzee's
Yahtzee.
gushing about it. So yeah, we've been telling everyone to play it. It's good shit. If you bemoan the lack of originality or whatnot in games, play this.
And
Feel a
shut
little bit
up.
different. Play this and shut up. Excellent. We got a couple more Patreon cues from the audience before we get into what we've been playing. Inverse Skies, this is one for you, Nick, said, Nick correctly called Marathon being delayed, but is it just kicking the can down the road with a generally negative reaction to it thus far? Is delaying it to 2026 going to be enough to make any significant changes to actually salvage the game? So I guess, let people know what happened with Marathon.
Bungie finally delayed it to an undisclosed date this week, basically saying they need to take it back to the drawing board a little bit, update the art, add more gameplay to it that makes the matches more interesting. So pretty much all the things I said they needed to do, aside from my loftier goals of like, are you gonna add a single player thing to it? I think when they bring this back, they will add some sort of PvE focused only thing that's not tied to the extraction part. I think they'll do something with that. And then some people were like, well, they didn't announce a date, so it's probably dead. Like, I don't think it's gonna be dead. I think they've put too much time and money in this game to not try to make it work. But I think they're gonna need a lot of open testing to get people excited about it and get word of mouth to be positive on it again. So that's where I think it's going to be. But yeah, I definitely think they're going to release it still, but they need to fix the PR image around it first.
Do you think it'll be this year, or do you think it'll be next year?
No, I think it'll be early next year. Because there's no point to release it this year if you're waiting. Because
what do you do? Put it next to Call of Duty and like November?
Yeah. You got Call of Duty coming up, and then GTA is May, so probably I'd expect this to drop in like February. Yeah.
Then that sweet Concord spot. What could possibly go wrong?
Shit. Oh, maybe not. Maybe wait till March.
Speaking of ghosts haunting a room. Mopman, also in the Patreon, thank you so much, Mopman, said, any thoughts on the DK Bonanza Direct? I know Marty watched it at least. Did you get a chance to watch the DK Bonanza Direct yesterday?
No.
The game looks fucking good.
I'm just gonna play it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, because I know you are on the record as saying you want new, just meaty single player Nintendo games, and that's what this looks like. This I think was far and away its best showing. It showed some of the story stuff, which I think is very silly that people are trying to put lore to Mario to be like, oh my god, but this is a Daisy origin story, how Donkey Kong met Daisy, but Cranky Kong is in this game, so how is that going to work? I don't give a shit about
That's a conversation topic you guys need to have on Windbreakers. Like people having everything
don't worry about
to make sense.
Fucking cool it with the lore. God. Not Daisy. Pauline. Excuse me, Eric. Eric, fucking get me out of these back rooms. What are you doing? Get me out of these piss walls. Get me back to my normal piss walls. I thought the Direct was great. I thought it showcased a lot of fun stuff. I thought it showed sort of more what you're doing in the open world with both the terraforming and needing to get this character. Like this is just like The Last of Us. You're just trying to get this girl to safety, except you're a giant chimp and she is like a songstress. It showed a bunch of transformations. It showed a bunch of like the different challenges, different mini games. Like this does feel like a meaty 3D platformer. Interesting, they still haven't said who's developing it. I still insist this is not the core Mario team. I do not think, maybe this is some people from the Mario team. I do not think that the team, I think there's clearly some design ideology from Mario Odyssey here. Like when you see there's stores that you can dress up Donkey Kong, and it looks extremely similar to how you could dress up Mario in Odyssey. I still think it's weird that they haven't said who's making it, but I think this game looks great. I'm very excited for this game, and it comes out in just about a month. Yeah, this channel is just going BK Bonanza all day, all time. I think I said BK Bonanza, which might be that's just Burger King. Yeah. Love a BK Bonanza. And then the last Patreon comment that came in that I also wanted to touch on was Richard Adams. Thank you so much. Richard said, I would love to hear Marty's thoughts on the revelation that Kojima made, changes to Death Stranding 2 because he thought it was too good. So this came about in an interview with Woodkid, who's doing a bunch of the music in Death Stranding 2. And he was talking about how he's been kind of working alongside Kojima in somewhat of a creative capacity with the game as well for a while. And he said that Kojima got worried halfway through production because they did play tests and people were saying we're enjoying the game too much. The play tests were too unanimously positive. And Kojima is on the record as saying, if everyone likes your work, it means it's mainstream. It means it's conventional. It means it's already pre-digested for people to like it. And I don't want that. I want people to end up liking things that they didn't like when they first encountered it, because that's when you end up really loving something. And then Woodkid said that was a lesson for him, not doing stuff to please people, but doing stuff to shift them a little bit and move them. And I kind of again, like
I like the thought behind it. I also think that's stupid.
I think it's great. No, I disagree. I think I love someone who is being so abrasive, being like, people like this too much. I need to put in things people are gonna fucking hate. I kind of love it.
But all those people that probably played it liked it for different reasons.
I don't know. I don't have Kojima's reasoning there.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any. Sometimes Kojima could just say things. He's my best friend, but sometimes he can say things that are dumb.
He's not your best friend. You just called him out. You called him a liar. You called him a filthy liar.
Only true friends are willing to say you are dumb.
Yeah. But look at him. He's got his eye patch on. I am so fucking excited for this game, and I'm also so worried because this game is coming out on the 26th, and then I'm like going on vacation a little bit later, and I'm just gonna be gone for like 10 days. And I'm like, is this game still gonna be here when I come back? I'm gonna go on fucking radio silence. I'm deleting the internet. I might have been in the room when this picture was taken.
I haven't watched any of the hands-on previews or anything, so
neither have I. I've gone cold turkey. I didn't watch the big premiere thing in LA the other week. I'm done. I just want to play this game.
Yeah.
What if I'm just gonna sit down? I'm just gonna play it all in one sitting. That'll be fine. Just get some diapers. It'll be fine. Just sit in the fucking muck.
Your eyes are gonna droop out of your head.
Just muck it up. It'll be fine. In Hideo, we trust. Can never do wrong. And then Zoe, thank you so much for a $10 dono. Genuinely confused on why Bungie doesn't just take the Fortnite approach and introduce an extraction mode to Destiny 2 to draw more players in instead of recycling an IP that a majority doesn't even know.
I don't know if Destiny players would like extraction. I don't know. They had the Gambit mode in Destiny 2, which similar-ish to extraction, which people really liked. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously I've said multiple times I think Bungie's chasing a trend here, and I can't. If I were the one in charge and knew what people liked about the original marathons and then said let's come do something completely different, I think time and time again the industry has learned that doesn't go down well. So I don't know. I think if this game tanks, Bungie's leadership gets pulled out. That's what I think. They pretty much have to, because Destiny 2's still kind of on the down trend.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on Bungie, and they need their next game to be a hit. Like, I think that's
back to Oni.
Square's day.
Reboot Oni. I think that's the only other franchise of theirs I know. Is Oni. That might literally be their only other franchise. Shout out to Oni. And then Sassy Guru, thank you so much for the €5 dono. If Kojima worked for a corpo like Andrew Wilson would be losing his mind. What do you mean it was too good? The money. That's why he doesn't have those corpos anymore. Also, there's a good chance everything he says is bullshit, which is fine. It's great. Honestly, it's fine. Like, as long as your bullshit is interesting, I'm happy. for your bullshit. Give us your bullshit. If you have the truth and the legend, print the legend. I made that up right here. That definitely wasn't me bastardizing another quote. Look at that.
You know what? With the way the world is right now, I think I'd rather just news be boring for a little bit.
There you go. Kojima. Kojima, we need you. Well, don't worry. We'll play Death Stranding 2 and we'll know where the world's going in the next 5 years. It's clear that man is prophetic.
No. Please don't be a nuclear wasteland again.
Please don't be a nuclear wasteland. Thank you so much to everyone in the $5 tier on Patreon who sent us your cues. And remember, if you're at the $5 tier, not only can you contribute to each episode of Firelink, but you also get columns every week by myself and Darren. And you also get monthly videos. And this month, you got a bunch of stuff. You got great videos recently. The last couple of videos, you got Nick's doing his occasional podcasts. Interview podcast with various developers and folks in the industry. What was your last one on?
That was on Kepler Interactive, publisher of Expedition 33, Pacific Drive, Scorn, Tachia, Rematch. Lots of great stuff coming out on Kepler. Very interesting conversation.
Yeah, we had that. Jack put a video together where he literally walked through Dark Souls 2, every room in Dark Souls 2, and counted how many buckets are in Dark Souls 2. And it is not clickbait. He gives us the answer of how many buckets were in Dark Souls 2, which is insane. Obviously, Yahtzee reading the lore of Sonic as transcribed by the bard Eric. And Jesse also put up a great vid where he commentated game of hockey. It turns out Jesse doesn't know anything about hockey, but honestly, I enjoy hockey more when Jesse's commentating than when Jesse's not commentating. Nick, do you have thoughts about was it Florida Panthers? They won Stanley Cup. Do you have thoughts on that?
I hate Florida Panthers, so no.
All right, there you go.
I only care if the Red Wings get to go anywhere, and that's been a long time.
You're not a fan of the sport. You're just a fan of the team. You didn't even watch the. Did you watch the Stanley Cup?
No, not this year. I didn't care to watch the Panthers or the Oilers.
Wow, rude.
Yeah.
What if it was just a panther just doused in oil? That'd be really sad. Like sometimes when there's an oil spill and they show a penguin and they have to like wash it with a little brush. That'd be nice. Nick, what have you been playing?
Well, we talked about the altars already, so I won't go back to that. I did finally get back into Rematch today, the new soccer game football game from Slowcap. Man, the comments on our discovery queue on that were, "This isn't soccer, this is football." It's like, sorry, we're Americans, we're dumb.
We're not dumb. We have a thing called football that's better than soccer. Like, I don't know what you want us to call it. Like, we have a game called football and it's better than football, so we call it soccer. Like, you should be happy that we talk about your shitty sport at all.
This shitty sport that the entire world loves.
Yeah, the world's dumb.
Yep, that's true. Only America.
No, I don't want that. That wasn't the message of this. That wasn't the message of this. That wasn't the message.
We suck right now.
No. Just tell us how Rematch was. People are going to be very angry at me.
Yeah. No, I am addicted to the game. Like, I played like 8 matches today while hanging out with my mom. Just very, very fun, very simple soccer game, but high skill gap or high skill level game. Just pulling off cool ass moves to score goals, and it's just fun. Like, there's really not a whole lot to say about it. It's just like if the game looks interesting, you go play it because it's really good.
Yeah, and it I know it was like blowing up on Steam and everything, and this is on Game Pass
and PlayStation Plus, I think.
Get the fuck out of here! How is this on everything? Yeah. Is this game on Switch too? Probably open it up and you get a seizure if it's on Switch too. It's like Gex mode.
Be surprised. This has to come to Switch too, because I mean, this would blow that software out of the water.
Also, put Sifu on Switch too while you're at it. Kepler, why aren't you putting your games on Switch? You should ask him that. Did you ask him that?
I didn't. I don't think he would have known.
You should have had a write-in question from me and said our audience of one says, "Hey, I got some questions."
Eric says Sifu is on Switch. Where are you at? Why aren't you looking at the store?
Because I bought Gex.
Does it load now? You have the store that loads better now.
It loads so smoothly, but it's still filled with so much porno. It is wild, but the porno is buttery smooth. Like, it is so smooth to go through the porno. It was before, it was like so choppy. If you ever tried to go through the porno games back on Switch 1, you knew it was a hassle. It was like back in the 56K days. Whereas now, Switch 2, going through porno, like butter.
When I get on my Switch 2, I'm playing games. I'm not looking for porno.
I'm not looking for porno. The porno finds me, Nick. What else have you been playing? There's a weird energy without Casey. I really there's like a real weird energy without Casey.
He's not here to stop us from going on these weird tangents.
I think the pace, there's a non-stop pace without Casey.
That's true. He does.
And
He does interrupt us a lot.
That is not what I was saying. That is not what I was saying at all. That is not what I was saying.
Listen, he's not here. We could just throw him under the bus as much as
I don't want to throw him under the bus. I like Casey.
You already blamed him for the pace of the podcast, so, you know.
No, I didn't blame him for the pace of the podcast.
We're only 15 minutes
I said
into
he's a necessary piece. I'm out of control without him. He's like my totem. Oh, I don't like that picture. That picture's scary looking.
That's what his face looks like every time you bring up hentai or porn on Switch.
No, he laughs. He laughs. He dies on the inside, but he laughs on the outside.
I think he's got a pre-recorded clip where he laughs at you, but that's his real face.
He just hits. He has like a stream deck, and he just hits that button and like rolls his eyes.
The Marty button.
Yeah,
Marty said a thing again.
Absolutely. Have they announced kind of the plan? Because this is a retail game. You know, not. I guess it's a middle. What is it? $40?
$30. $30 game.
$30.
Yeah.
Have they announced like a roadmap? Does a game like this need a roadmap? Like,
no, they really haven't announced a roadmap. I mean, they're gonna do. They said they're gonna do some new game modes. So I'm assuming. I'm gonna assume that I am correct in my hypothesis that they're going to do like additional sports down the road, and that's why it's called Rematch.
I really like.
I'm gonna stick with that.
I've never seen it. I haven't seen anyone else talk about that, but I really like it.
Okay, well, when I'm ready, I'm gonna make a video about how right I was.
You got to make the video first, like my Pragmata video. You got to be Babe Ruth.
I got to do conspiracy theory first.
Yeah, exactly. That could just be a new mini series of like tinfoil hat corner, where all of us have our theories.
Oh man, we need to do that now. Now we need like tinfoil hats, thumbnails.
There you go.
You know what, Omar? That's how you're gonna get our faces in thumbnails. I still haven't taken those pictures he wanted.
If we could wear tinfoil hats.
But yeah, I think they said they're going to do seasonal updates and they're going to do new game modes, and that's kind of all they've really said so far. And then obviously there's it is a premium game, but you can buy cosmetics and stuff to support it if you really like it.
You dress up like real Goofy. Everyone just looks normal.
There are goofy ones. Yeah, there are goofy ones.
Could you see them adding licensed things like? Can you dressing up as Darth Vader or something? Obviously not to like the extent of Darth Vader because it's big, but like
maybe
I would imagine you could have dress up as the dude from Sifu, right? Like,
yeah, I guess that wouldn't surprise me because they already put in like a real soccer player that you can play as. So
Pele,
the player
Mia Hamm.
Let's go with that. That's
bend it like Beckham. Ted Lasso. Roy Kent. He's here. He's there. He's everywhere. Roy Kent.
Is that the father in Succession?
No, Roy Kent. Did you watch Ted Lasso?
No.
Oh, okay. Then that's very confusing. No, that's Roy. What is the Succession family name? Roy Succession.
There's a Roy in the show.
Yeah, right? Logan Roy. His last name.
Logan Roy. I had it flipped around. Yeah. That's close. Let's put him in the game. That would make sense.
John Lee says messy. No, everything's actually pretty clean on my desk, so not too messy. What else have you been playing? You've been playing Dune?
I have been playing Dune Awakening. Yes, the survival genre is so weird. Like there are games that look really cool, and I'm like, I really want to play it, and then I get in, and it's so tedious, and then I like want to put it down. Like Dune Awakening is like in that middle ground of like, I really like the game. The opening section though has me building a base, and I don't like that. Mostly because the first base I built, they don't like. Obviously, I've watched the movies, and maybe it's not the best idea to place your base on the middle of the sand, and then as you're placing.
That's where worms are. That's where Shai Haluds and whatnot are.
Yeah, but like maybe as placing things down on the sand and making noise. So the sandworm, in my first 2 hours, I was learning the game, and then the sandworm came and ate the base and me, and I lost everything, and I spawned as a naked man. So I was a little bit upset, but then I've got back into the game. I'm getting the ropes of it down. It has a very long introduction process because there are so many different mechanics. Like you gotta, first you gotta like drink water out of plants. Oh, and then later on, you unlock the tool to suck people's blood and drink their blood for water. So
Suck their blood?
yeah, that's they they do it in the movies. They suck the blood out of people and then put it through a filtering process to get the water out of their blood.
Not in my cut of the movie.
Yeah, Dune
I didn't
people
realize they're
are
fucking vampires.
Yeah, Dune people are really weird.
No, I'm just drinking my own piss. My still suit piss. This is the second podcast this week where I've talked about using my own piss for things. People keep trying to tell me my piss isn't clean, and I'm offended by that.
Well, Elon Musk's is apparently.
My ass. Ketamine leaves the body very quickly.
Yeah, like people are loving the game. I need to spend more time with it because like I do think I'm gonna end up actually liking it because I did like a lot of V Rising, and this kind of has a similar loop to that of doing the survival stuff and finding new areas, getting involved in fights, taking on bosses, upgrading your gear, like all of that same kind of loop. I just like V Rising. I could just kind of place down the things I needed to build the items that I needed. And this has a little bit more base management, and that's usually where like these survival games lose me because I just hate building. I hate building bases. Like I'm not good at architecture. If you look at my Sims houses, they're boxes that look like jail cells, and like eventually I get annoyed and just put a pool without a ladder and see where things go. But
that's why all of these games let us build our bases inside of a giant wheel that's standing up.
Yeah.
As long as I'm in the wheel, I understand how to build my base.
Yeah. So I haven't put a ton of time into it yet. I know Jay's playing the shit out of this game. So
yeah, he was talking about how he built one of those little hummingbird things or whatever, dragonfly things.
Oh, the vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah, the little chopper.
Yeah. So I'm excited to get farther into it to like see some of the PvP stuff and all that because like I was always interested in Conan Exiles. I don't like base building, so I tend to like not play these, with Ark or this or.
Was this the Conan
Rust.
team?
Yeah, Funcom. Conan.
Funcom.
They made Conan Exiles before this, and very very similar. So
Funcom. What do you think that stands for? Fun computers?
Sure. Speakeasy. Are y'all allowed to play together, or what's the deal? We do. It's just like our times don't match up. Even though Jay moved to the U.S., he's always playing when I'm not playing. So.
Oh, there you go. But it's like you could ostensibly play together. It's not like we didn't start the game together, so we can't play together.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
there you go. Dune.
This
seems like
is Awakening good though? It's sold very well on Steam, or it's like one of the most played games on Steam right now. So I think people dig it. It's got some kinks to work out, I believe, but
doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's good. No, people seem to be enjoying this. This is most certainly not my type of game, but I'm always happy when a game comes out that people enjoy. Go play the games you like and stop yelling at me about the games I like. You also played a little bit of FBC earlier this week. Obviously, you can see the full stream of UJ and Jenna playing that. But did you just have any thoughts? It sounds like this is not a reco as of right now.
No, I'd be hard pressed to recommend it at $40 for what's in there. I was interested in it because the trailers all looked good. I thought, but yeah, like compared to other co-op FPSs that are on the market that are doing so much more, this is really really basic. We showed off. Well, we tried to show off more of the game, but I wanted to. There's only 5 missions in the game, and they're short. They're not like Left 4 Dead missions take an hour sometimes to get all the way through. They have different chapters you gotta go through and everything. These are go to a room, do the objective, go to the next room, do the objective, and then leave, and that's it. And you can probably finish some of these missions in, on the easier difficulties, you could finish these missions in like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
if you're even competent at FPS games.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like by the end of the stream, you guys kind of saw everything.
We didn't do the last 2 missions, but yeah, we unlocked 3 out of the 5 missions. In the first hour.
Yeah.
So, and the point of the game though is to go replay those missions at the higher difficulties, and then you get the
better loot or drops or whatever.
No, you get the you don't really get like the anomalies until you get to the tier 3 of each mission, and then you get the
big week for anomalies in games, by the way. Between alters and this, big week for anomalies.
Yeah, but those change up the gameplay, but it's like very minimal changes, right? Like an anomaly might make the enemies run faster, or it might change the gravity, or something of that realm. But like the objectives aren't like they're not very fun. Like the mini games are very similar all to each other. You know, when you think of like Control or this type of universe, like there's so much more creativity they could have done with it to bring in puzzles or something to just change up the gameplay. Because other than that, it's just shooting things, and the shooting even in itself doesn't feel that great. So, $40 would not recommend it. $40 if you're that interested in it, like check it out on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus if you can. But
is this on Game Pass too?
It's on Game Pass too. Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here! What game isn't on Game Pass?
I don't know anymore. But yeah,
they announced speaking of roadmaps earlier. They also announced that there's going to be a big old update in the fall and winter. But
they're going to add new missions. But if it's anything like the missions that are already there, I mean, they're not really engaging. A different game that it's not in the Control world, but it's SCP. It's SCP-5K, which is a more hardcore cooperative shooter set in the SCP universe. And that game has a lot of different objectives and it's just immensely better than this. And it's made by an indie team. So if you really want something like that, go check this out. Go check out SCP-5K. Or
check out ICP-5K, which is it's an anomaly game set at the Gathering of the Juggalos.
I thought you were making the joke of ICP.
No, the Insane Clown Posse. They drink orange Faygo and whatnot. Just guzzling that shit. We should get a Faygo sponsorship. You drink enough. You put enough fucking toxic liquid into your body. Instead of Dew, we could be drinking Faygo.
I've been drinking Mountain Dew on stream for 8 years now. We still haven't got a sponsorship from them.
That's because it's the Pepsi Corporation. They don't give a shit about us. Faygo. Fuck. No one's knocking on their door.
I guess I've been doing it for free. Why would they pay us?
Us and the Juggalos.
I feel like he's already got diabetes. We don't want to.
We don't want to do anything there. Eric says, "I don't know what." The drink is unfortunately named. It's like an orange. It's like a bright orange carbon. It's bad. It's terrible. But if you want to sponsor us, you're not bad or terrible. You're great. Honestly, Alters has been the thing I've been playing the most. I just last night jumped into Raidu Remastered, which I'm very excited for, but I've only played like half an hour. I don't have anything to say about this. This is Raidu Remastered there you go. There's Faygo. Raidu Remastered, this is the remastered version of the Shin Megami Tensei spin-off from the PS2 generation, which is more of sort of like a historically set kind of like a detective story, but with SMT persona demons that you can recruit, but your battles that you fight are in kind of like real-time arenas. So it's not turn-based. You are running around and hacking and slashing alongside your various demon buddies that you've recruited. But I'm really intrigued by this because this is I haven't played any of the SMT spin-off games. I've only played SMT 3, the 4s and 5, and then obviously all the Persona games. But this is my first proper SMT spin-off game, and I'm excited.
How many spin-offs?
There's like fucking 50 SMT games. Like there's so many. There are so many.
And that franchise isn't as popular as Persona. It's like the secondary.
No, SMT was first, and then Persona was a spin-off of SMT, but then became more popular. And so SMT fans get mad when people talk about Persona as the big dog, but like tough shit, Persona is the big dog.
Eric's saying SMT wasn't the first. Megami Tensei is the original.
I mean, SMT is Shin Megami Tensei. It's just Megami Tensei with the Shin before it. Like Shin Godzilla.
This is all too confusing because now we have Metaphor, which is technically a spin-off.
Everything's happening. Everything is happening. But yeah, I'll have more to say on that next week. And then I'm still chugging through Mind's Eye. I think I'm going to finish it this weekend. I think I got like 90 minutes left. Are they ever going to make a second game?
No.
Build a Rocket Boy?
No, that game has sold horribly.
I think they got another one in the pipes. Not like they're gonna go. I think like something else. I think they got something else that's close to being done. And I'm excited to see what the second thing is. This game, I unlocked free roam mode, which I'm excited about. About 9 hours into the game, I unlocked the ability to free roam. There's nothing to do in that city. It is the most boring open world city you could ever imagine.
Is there side objectives or anything to do?
No, it is shocking. Like
it is
genuinely this is now vaulted to the top of my list of I need to know what happened here. Like I need to know what happened. I'm counting down the days till the Schreier expose. I know it's coming. Like I know it's got to be coming. I'm sure he's talked to people. I just want to know what happened.
What a weird. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, that's gonna go down in history as like what the fuck happened with this? Like, how do you get $100 million investment and this is what comes out of it? And
yeah,
weird.
Making me excited for my trip to Vegas in a few weeks though, because this takes place in fake Vegas. They even got the orb. Can't go in the orb, but the orb is there. That's neat.
Yeah, man, it's just such a all the stuff that's spun off from Rockstar is just weird. It's just weird. Like it feels like they had so much money they don't know what to do with it.
What is there? I feel like this is something that I want to do research on. Has there been a former leads of X formed their own thing at Y, and Y being something fucking great? Like, is there an example of like Clear Obscure a little bit, like, but they didn't really use the Ubisoft thing that much, and only like a couple of the folks did that. But like, I feel like we've had a lot of stories of the Blizzard offshoot
to Respawn. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the big one.
That's the big one. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like a lot of those Blizzard spin-offs.
I'm sure there are plenty. Yeah. I would say more of them came from like smaller indie studios, but I think you're more referring to like one of these bigger studios that tried to emulate the AAA but going indie.
Yeah, more the AAA. Yeah, because there's some good. Too Many Spreadsheets says Giant Squid with Abzu and the Pathless. Yeah, and like they spun off of that game company and everything. Yeah, Double Fine, I guess, but that was more of just like a Lucasfilm stopped making games, and so Tim Schafer took all of his homies to Double Fine. But
Delphin D Zeta says we will find out soon with Dreamhaven. Well, Dreamhaven's I think you're talking about Moonshot Games and Wildgate. Dreamhaven's the publisher of that. But yeah, I talked about Wildgate last week, which is that space kind of Sea of Thieves game, and that was one of the top demos during Steam Next Fest.
Who's Dreamhaven?
Dreamhaven is formed of a bunch of former Blizzard veterans.
There's been a lot of those, because even what was no, that was BioWare. The what was that game that came out in January? What was the biggest game of January this year? Yahtzee reviewed it. It was like Breath of the Wild with colors and you fought monsters. Eternal Strains.
Oh, yeah, that was BioWare.
That was BioWare. Yeah, BioWare and Blizzard. I'm gonna be honest.
Michael Laidlaw. Yeah,
Michael Laidlaw. That was it.
Yeah. But yeah, Dreamhaven, like they're a bit hit or miss right now. Like I think they've released good games, they're just not really catching on. Like they released that Sunderfolk, which is that D&D inspired game that you can play with friends on your phone and on like normal PC. Like you control it through your phone, but it's a real premium game. And then they also just did I don't know where Linked Banner of the Spark.
I keep getting recommended that game.
Yeah,
this has got a colorful fucking creature that you run around as. They're like, you'd love this game.
Yeah, it's doesn't look like it's sold well, so I think Wildgate will be their first big hit.
Yeah, you were gushing over it, and that comes out next month.
That game has jumped up my list to one of my most anticipated games of the year. I think it's going to become a nightly play for my friends and I. We really
obviously after the 26th, after Death Stranding 2.
I'm talking multiplayer.
Okay. Obviously after Donkey Kong Bonanza, because as we learned, Donkey Kong Bonanza is multiplayer because the second player can control with the waggle. You could be her voice. And you can shoot her voice.
If somebody wants to give me a Switch and send it to me, I will pay them for it because I'm in Missouri and it's the state of misery and we don't get Switches here.
I already sent one to Yahtzee.
Switches get bitches.
I can't send two. Miyamoto. After I sent one to Yahtzee, Miyamoto wrote me a letter and said, "I'm gonna fucking cripple you if you do that again." And I was like, "Mr. Miyamoto, why did you do that?" And then he said, "Turn off Gex." And he turned off Gex. He did it because I sent Yahtzee one. I'm like, boy, he has to review Mario Kart. What are you talking about? That was him. He was very angry at me. The Man in Black with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Man in Black. Do you think that's a Johnny Cash reference or the Man in Black, Randall Flagg from The Dark Tower?
I don't know either.
Okay, probably Randall Flagg, the Man in Black. Forget about Mind's Eye, Marty. Just play GTA 5, also on Game Pass. I'm planning to play GTA 5. Before GTA 6 comes out. I'm gonna play GTA 5, but I also
I keep forgetting you've never played through the story.
never played
of that
GTA
game.
5. But you know what that means though.
To be fair, I didn't either until a year ago. Like I had started it but never finished it. I finally finished it last year.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Pretty good game.
I think you know what? I think after playing Mind's Eye, I think you'll appreciate
my
the
God.
art and craft of Rockstar.
The problem is my brain's broke and I gotta start at the beginning. I'm gonna have to
That's
play
fine.
GTA 1.
The beginning's great.
No. GTA 1 and GTA
No,
London
don't.
and GTA 2 and then 3 and then Vice City and then San Andreas and then 4 and then Gay Tony and then Lost in the Dam and then 5.
How dare you forget about Chinatown?
And sprinkle a little Chinatown Wars in there for fun. It could happen. And then I might as well play the rest of the Rockstar games. Get the Warriors up in there. A little bit of Manhunt 1+2. Ping Pong.
I'm annoyed at myself for not finishing Bully because I really like the story of it, but I hate the gameplay.
Yeah, I guess just watch it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That feels wrong. I don't like watching people play games that I could be playing. Y'all are weird for watching streamers.
You know what? I think you're great for watching streamers. Please continue to watch streamers such as all of us at Second Wind.
Who's the title of this episode?
And to, I don't know. People keep saying Yahtzee title. Yahtzee doesn't know how to title something in our back end. He doesn't know. He wouldn't know how to do that. Yeah, I think that'll about do it for us. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I've got another meeting to do in an hour. So
It's night. It's night. You're not supposed to have meetings at night.
Thanks, Javed.
Thanks, Job. Thanks, Australia. Thanks, Australia. But yeah, what else? What do you have going on? What should folks check out in your neck of the woods?
I had a new episode of Wishlist go out this past Sunday, so you can watch that. For 5 new cool games in there to keep an eye on. I'll have a new episode of Unpacked out tomorrow as usual. And then I'm working on a nice little short essay for The Altars, which will hopefully either be out next week or the week after. I don't know. I got a lot of shit to do.
It doesn't get in fucking line. I got 2 videos ahead of you. Fucking kick rocks.
You know what? You can take your time with those.
Get them. They're done. They're already done. They're in the queue.
I don't see them. I haven't watched them yet.
Incredibly rude. Well, they're not done. My work on them's done.
You said
I don't know how to edit a goddamn video.
Get good.
Yeah. In terms of other stuff we got going on, after much deliberation and much reading comments, Bite Size has returned somehow. Like Palpatine, Bite Size has returned. Jesse Galena did an excellent job writing up Bite Size and making the video for Date Everything. Which this seems like a fun game. I understand his criticism is 100%, but I am excited to play it because it is a game where you walk around your house and you can date anything in the house. And let me tell you, when I say anything, I mean everything. You can click on like hangers, you can click on a washing machine, you can click on dishes, and they become just like babes and dude babes, the babes and hunks. You can date them all.
You know what else is coming back this weekend?
What's coming back this weekend?
Game night.
Impossible. I disagree.
Playing Rematch on Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. CT.
That is not night. That is game day.
Somewhere in the world it's night.
That is somewhere in the world it's night. That is true. Damn. And then we also had a great video that Jesse Schwab helped edit where myself, Jesse Galena, Casey, and Jess Hoops all wrote little blurbs about a couple of Next Fest games that we loved. We have 8 recos there of a bunch of cool demos, our faves that you should wish list and check out the demos if they're still available. So please do that. Yeah, that'll do it for us today. I don't think we have any streams planned tomorrow. Obviously, game afternoon, game brunch. Game brunch is going to be on Saturday at noon, and then we'll be back next week for all our normal streams. I probably will not be doing a personal stream tomorrow because I have friends in town. So I'm sorry, anime fans. You'll have to just watch anime without me. But yeah, I should be back probably over the weekend finishing Mind's Eye and doing some more garbage like that. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're gonna look back on your life and think about the time you spent in Mind's Eye and think, was that worth it? And you're gonna say no.
I think the thing that's really shocking to me is not that I finished it, but that I played that opening 2 hours twice, 2 days in a row.
Oh no.
Like that is the thing. Like I think that, like there's been multiple times I've been the world's #1 Mind's Eye streamer streaming it, and I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. Like I should be doing something else.
You were the top of Twitch.
I was the top of Twitch, but that wasn't saying a lot. There wasn't competition. There was not competition.
The number just says, "Who's this idiot?" I'm sorry, developers. I know you worked very hard on this.
Bill Rackaboy should get in contact with me. They should be like, you are clearly the world's #1 Mind's Eye fan. We will hire you. Yeah, but that'll do it for us. For Nick and Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink, episode number 72. Thank you all so much, everyone who watched live in YouTube, anyone who sent in super chats, all of those incredible members of our Patreon, especially at that $5 tier and above. We appreciate each and every one of you. And of course, all of you who listen on your podcast service of choice. Thank you all so much. Yeah, we'll be back streaming, should be Saturday at noon for more Rematch. And until then, we'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.
Go play the altars.
Go play the altars, please.